video, we're going to talk about preposition pairs. So this is another difficult topic for a lot of English learners because there's not a lot of clear rules. Sometimes you think you can translate from your language and sometimes you just can't. For topics like this, you could either approach it through lots of memorization or through hours of use. Just keep in mind that if you're having a hard time, it's not because of you. This is legitimately one of the most difficult topics in English. Okay, so what is a preposition pair? Preposition pairs are a collocation between either a verb, noun, or adjective and a preposition. A collocation means that they usually just go together. Be careful, this is not the same as a phrasal verb. This is something different. A phrasal verb is a verb plus a preposition that has a new and different meaning than the original verb. Here, the meaning is not changing. The preposition is just simply necessary or in fact part of the verb. Let me give you a few examples. It depends on the person. I agree with you. She apologized for her mistake. I'm thinking about buying a car. And remember, a preposition is always followed by a gerund, so if you want to use a verb after one of these preposition pairs, it's going to be in the gerund. Last night I dreamt about you. Can you forgive me? Or can you forgive me for what I did? Joan is good at math. I'm responsible for this project. Do you see how this can be tricky if you're trying to translate from Spanish? In this particular topic, I recommend not using translation to help you. On this one, you kind of have to learn to think in English because many times the preposition used in English is different, or there is no preposition used in English where there is in Spanish, or vice versa. Okay, don't get confused. Prepositions are used in lots of different cases in English. Prepositions can be used to talk about position, time, movement, or method. In this case, the preposition has its literal or real meaning. But then prepositions can be used in phrasal verbs or in these preposition pairs. And here the meaning of the preposition is sort of irrelevant. It's just used. Another little comment, some people disagree about whether something is a preposition pair or a phrasal verb. Really, it doesn't matter, as long as you understand the meaning. Another note, sometimes verbs can be paired with more than one preposition, depending on what we're talking about. It depends on if we're talking about who, what, to whom, for whom, where. So, for example, Julia agrees with Olivia. Or we can say Julia agrees on the matter. Here we can use agree with and agree on depending on what we're talking about. Also notice that the preposition is usually only necessary if you're going to continue the sentence with some sort of object. So, for example, she looked or she looked at the picture. We only need to say at if we're going to continue the sentence. And one more little note, when it comes to using ed adjectives, also called participles, after to be or seem, feel, or appear, we see that there is often the option of using by. as you may have learned when studying the passive voice. If the active voice is, the question surprised the president, the passive voice would be, the president was surprised by the question. In addition to by, there are often other preposition options, and the meaning is usually the same. So in this case, we could also say, the president was surprised at the question, and it's exactly the same. Okay, so please see the lists that are attached to this video of preposition pairs. The list is not a complete list of all the pairs in English, but it's a good start. I recommend that as you do the exercises in this unit, you make your own list of preposition pairs that are tricky for you. And remember, this is a difficult topic for everyone, and you will not master it in 1 week, and probably not in even 1 month. This is something that you'll need to practice over a long period of time as you consciously memorize or unconsciously internalize these rules.